Okay, so I'm basically making a quick video to kind of explain how the expanded cross hotbar works. By default, when you have a controller, you basically have just these 16 slots, you know, a right side and a left side. And then obviously you can switch to the second, third, fourth, and so on for the other hotbars. But one thing, obviously this isn't ideal because, you know, like for my paladin, I've filled up the first hotbar, second hotbar, and I even have a couple of abilities on the third hotbar. And I haven't even unlocked all of the paladin abilities yet. And obviously if I have like procs appear on, you know, some of the abilities on my second hotbar, I'm not going to see those if I'm on, you know, hotbar 1 the whole time. So what I would highly recommend is under System Character Configuration, under the hotbar settings, you can do, it's actually not under Cross, which is kind of confusing, it's under Custom. So the first thing I'll talk about is enabling there's the expanded and there's the WXHB. I'd recommend both of these. So the expanded ones is basically when you hold both of the buttons down and in a different order, you can get an additional hotbar, and you can even specify which one it is. So for example, I have my fourth hotbar specified. So just to show you that, on my fourth hotbar, you know, I have like on the right side I've got sprint and chocobo and teleport. On the left side I have a bunch of menus. So what that does is, now if I hold the right trigger and then also press and hold the left trigger, I get the right side of my fourth hotbar. So I can do like sprint, you know, my shared actions that is what I like to put there. And likewise, if I hold the left trigger and then press the right trigger down, I'll get the left side of that hotbar. You can also mix and match. So for example, if I decide that I want the left side to be the right side of hotbar 4 and the right side to actually be my class hotbar, the right side of my class hotbar, I could do something like that. So now I can have more class abilities on the right side, which are, you know, my sword oath and shield oath. And on the left side I can have, you know, my shared abilities like the sprint and the limit break. So that's really useful having that, you know, and that way you can quickly hold those down. It's nice and fast. So in addition to, I'm going to set that back because I prefer having shared. In addition to that, you can have the WXHB. You may also have to turn on, down in the cross section, always display WXHB. So once you turn it on, by default, it just has a left side with 4 buttons and a right side with 4 buttons. But you can also enable the directional buttons so that you can have a nice total of 32, you know, hotbar slots showing on screen at a time. So that's what I'd recommend. You can also, you know, set it to be whichever, you know, hotbar you want. So that for me is my second hotbar, which is my also class specific. So keep forgetting to hit apply on some of these. Apply. So the way you trigger those is by double tapping. So I hold the right trigger to get the right side, or double tap and hold to get the WXHB right side. Left side, double tap left to get that. And obviously you can still do, you know, that one and those. So this way you can have, you know, that nice 32 abilities on your screen. That way if you get procs on any of your class abilities, you can immediately see them. You don't have to, you know, switch to that hotbar to see it. you know, and keep going back and forth and checking them and stuff. They're just all right there on your screen at once, and you can just double tap and use them just like you would normally. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's what I would recommend. All right, thanks.